Yeah, so today I want to go over exactly what are some information about the budget. I like to say a word that. So right here I'm on the website, so you can actually see I've typed up City of Ceres here in the search bar and hit enter. And from here we're going to go from City of Ceres, taking me to the website, right? Very easy. Under government, you can actually see agendas. So if you were to click on government, go to agendas, you'll pull up all the agendas. This time I want to go to I want to go to budget and financial. Now, this page has not been updated in a while, so I'm just going to let you know now that I'm very, very aware that most information is very outdated, and I'm working less than an email this morning over to my city manager about when we can get this updated. I'm going to go here to the annual budget. This is the actual budget for the full all 148 pages. You'll see right here, it was approved for fiscal year. This is the one that was adopted. Okay, it's going to go over the table of contents. And for today, I'm just going to stick in the budget overview. So that's all I'm going to go over today in this video. I will go over the other areas in a different video. So I just want to make sure exactly where you know where I'm going to be going. So table of contents is here. Again, if you have the table of contents, you can also click on here and it'll take you to those other pages if that's what you want to do. I don't. So we're going to stick on this one. I'm going to just have this open. This will actually show you the different page numbers as well. So in the event that you want to get to a certain area, like I want to see what our capital improvement and debt service is, you can go to page 137. Right up here, you can just click it right here, and it'll take you to that page. Okay, as long as the pages are in the right order. Since there's a cover page, it'll be off by one number. So right here, we're going to go over the elected officials. These are all the ones that are elected. The city treasurer is something new originally that was appointed, now it's elected. As you can see, the two are married. So I just want to make sure you guys see, if you do see the number name, but they were both elected if we're not appointed. So I want to make sure that's clear as well. You'll also see here our appointed the city manager and the city attorney, and then all the people appointed by the city manager. So we'll go over that in a second. So this is going to be kind of our budget appropriations that was approved for the fiscal year. And this shows you exactly how much was appropriated for each department. Okay, so you can see that's 90. So you can actually write down 96, 80, 87. Okay, so those are the total right now that's been approved for spending our total budget here. Okay, so going on, and this kind of goes over some of the basic information, the legal stuff that has to be in these kind of motions. Again, who approved it, who didn't approve the budget. Okay, so now this is going to be over the spending limitations, the amount that's going to be allowed up to. Again, here's the votes and the signature. So here, this is regarding proposition for appropriation limitations calculated. So here you can see how it goes all the way back to 1979, 78, 79 year. That's going to be our base year. And then you can see the amounts and how they've adjusted, sometimes dramatically, but in this book, they've kind of gone up. And here, within that year was 2000, 2000 each year. So that is not something that you can see there. It is gone up. And then this is just going to be the calculation. So it's based on what our population estimated amount, an increase, the population increase, and then a population of the county increase, and then adjustments to the city on the per capita income. So based on how much basically we think Ceres is making compared to last year, which looks like it's 3.62% higher. Most residents are making about 3% more than they were making last year. And then just the basic adjustments, we adjust to the population, per capita, and then the base of the spending, as you saw on the other pages, times that amount, which equals this amount, which is this. So the general fund estimates this amount, Ceres, right? So I just want to make sure you kind of understand where these numbers come from. Again, you see that 81, 282. So you see that here, and that goes right here. And then this percentage here is based on the population change, right? 6%, which means you move the decimal over 2 spots. 1.6, the per capita adjustment, which is the 3.62. Again, you move the decimal over 2 spots to make it a percentage, in order to multiply it out. And that's where these numbers are coming from. So that's where this 731 amount, this number is coming from. Okay. So I just want to make sure you understand where this is. So the 6% here. This is the counting. This is the income adjustment. And then that's where you see these numbers here. 6% here. That's here. Okay. So hopefully that is kind of clear to you. I just want to make sure that you can kind of see what I'm pointing to. So okay. So we can just kind of go on. This is just the basic amount that, how we're going to use ARPA. And actually it's ARPA that was budgeted for last year and it didn't get used. And so we're just going to keep it in to this year's budget just in case. And then this is going to be our debt obligation. So these are the debt, their obligation. These are going to be the actual bonds. This is going to actually tell you what the bonds are used for. Up here at the top, here, payoff date. So you can see where it ended. It's the original amount. Shows you the balance. So 22, 23. Where we're at 24, interest payments. And the balance is for the 24, 25. Okay. You can see that there. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys see that. Again, this is going to go over the full amount as well. So take this off so you can go on to the next page. But I want to make sure you're able to see and understand that as well. Okay. So we'll go on so you can see exactly what these bonds are for, as long as fully paid for, as you can see on the LED project, which was changing the street light to LED. So that project has been completed and that is now been paid in full. So you'll see that reflected here. You'll see the amounts change as well here. Okay, so moving on, this is primarily what I want to go over is there's been a lot of discussion about, layoffs, cutoffs, or what exactly is going on. So this is actually the layout of how things work. So the citizens of Ceres are the ones that ultimately report to those that are elected. So the mayor, treasurer, and the 4 council members are all elected through a voting process, right? And then the city attorney, city manager, and the committees and commissions are all appointed. So the city manager and the city attorney are both ones that are appointed by the council or agreed upon. City manager went through a hiring process as well. The city attorney is one that kind of serves a lot of the city. So she's we have switched them a few years ago. There was a change in attorneys under the same group, just a different name. And we do have a couple of attorneys that who use in that office for different things. So the committee and commissions are ones that are appointed usually by the council members or write-in council members that appoint the members to the committees and the commission. Then we have the city clerk and the IT people who both report to the city manager, as well as all the other department heads. So these are all the department heads. This one has the names of all the current ones as of time of the budget. And then how many positions were approved. So you can see the different positions here or departments. So you can see all the departments here, and it kind of gives you a legend down here so you know what you're kind of looking at based on color. Everything's color coded, okay? So here this is where the main part where I want to get into is the approved position. So I know there's been some discussion, some talk, and some rumors, so I just want to put that to rest. Let me look it up. You guys can look it up. This is public information. The meeting was public as well, and these documents are public. Showed you exactly how to get to them. So right here, these are our non-sworn police officers. This is our everything from a community safety officer, dispatchers. Again, as you can see, we've been pretty consistent, 18, and now we went to 19. So you'll see we have one extra position, our community service officer. So we actually hired a McCann full-time. So we actually have 2 positions there now. I believe 1 full-time and 1 part-time. So I just want to make sure you understand the actual non-sworn police officer employee count and up 1. So here, when it comes to the police, the actual police officers, again, we're holding at 52. So as you can see, all the numbers down the row are exactly the same as they have been for the last 3 years. Code enforcement. This has changed a little bit. We don't have a senior code enforcement anymore. No one has met that requirement. We just went ahead and reallocated those positions to regular code enforcement officers, which are only coming in with very minimal experience. And we actually changed that to 4. So there's not actually 3 as we had last year. So the numbers actually increased, not decreased. Now, Modesto Fires, you may or may not know, that's under contract. So we actually don't have a Ceres Fire Department per se. It's now being managed by Modesto Fire, who also oversees several other cities, such as Waterford, Riverbank, Oakdale, and Turlock, as well as a few other ones. It just allows us to not have to pay. We have a flat fee regardless of how many fires we have, and medical calls, how many illnesses, medical leaves. No matter what happens, we have the same amount of service that will be provided, which includes one EMT on every shift. So just want to make sure you understand that's why that's 0 because it's under contract. So it's actually going to be in a different spot now on the budget. Now this is going to be our AT department again, still at 4. It hasn't changed. So moving on, again, page 14 on the actual download with the copy. This is going to be our public works. So this is all our public works. We did add a position, so you can see we went from 6 to 7 last year when we added this deputy director of public works. That may change in the future because I think our director of public works may be retiring. And at that point in time, depending on the work and where we're at, we may not need this position any longer. But right now, we just want to make sure that everything is overseen and all of our public works type work is being done. So that's sewage, that's water, that's our parks, a lot of everything in the city. So we have to maintain the curbs too. So this is where we're at when it comes to our public works. The engineering is doing a lot of other stuff. You'll see that with traffic, see that with road improvements. There's actually 9 people in that department. It did go down a few years ago. So we'll see the decline there. We're still kind of maintaining, other than the engineering technician, that one position that you can see that is not there. That is one of the frozen positions. And the reason why it's frozen is because for the last 3 years, we've not been able to fill it. So we've had a lot of our work now is being outsourced over to the county. So some of the work is actually being done as well by the county. So some of that's been reallocated, which is why that position was frozen. We just didn't have it and we just didn't need it right now. And in the event that we have the funding or the work comes back and we start getting a need to have another person in the office, another engineering technician, again, this is entry level, then at that point in time, we may consider doing it. But just right now, it's a position we haven't been able to fill for those 2 years. So it's just one that we've decided that if we can't fill it, and one of them, we did move one from an engineering technician to an assistant associate engineer, which is a higher paying position. So there's 5 there, and we took it from down here. So they should be able to have additional skills and information and knowledge to work better and faster. So that's kind of where that is, because they come in with a higher scope of knowledge. So they should be able to do a little bit more than what our entry level engineer technicians are. So that is where you can kind of see that is one of those positions that hasn't been filled, which technically would be frozen because we haven't been able to fill it for 3 years. Next, we have equipment fleet. As you can see, that's 4 all the way across. We did move one fleet mechanic to a senior fleet mechanic based on years experience, but we're still running at the number 4. And then this position down here, the fleet mechanic, the one that was cut, technically is frozen. That's one of the frozen positions as well, because again, we didn't have a senior fleet, now we do. And so we still have the same 3 people, just under different classifications. And right now we don't need it, nor do we have the money for growing that department by 1. Next is wastewater. As you can see, we've kind of changed the numbers, but now we have a senior wastewater operator. So we're still at 10, but as you can see, the numbers are kind of allocated a little bit. We've been able to move a couple people out because of their experience and knowledge, which allows us to keep these other positions, which technically would be about 2 right here for wastewater operator 1 and 2. Again, those ones would be frozen now because we're going to have hired 2 senior wastewater operators that we didn't have before. But overall in the department, we're still running at 10. Now our street teams, that includes the sweeper. As you can see, we're still running at 10. We do have a street sweeper. Again, we just bought a new sweeper or in the process of buying a new one. It'd be nice to have someone to operate it, right? So as you can see, we also have 2 senior street operator maintenance sweepers now. So that number has changed, and we went from a maintenance fee operator 1 or 2, and then we're able to get the seniority to become senior operators. So by the looks of it, yes, technically there's 3 positions here that would be technically frozen. That's because 2 moved here and then 1 moved down here to just a regular street sweep operator, which is just 1, which we did not have before. So we're still running at 10 as we have the last 2 years. So here's the water distribution. Again, And we did move from 1 and 2. We did move 8 and 12. So you will actually see there on the screen that we actually have 2 more. 2 moved from the water operator from entry level 1 or 2 to the senior operator because they have the skills, they passed the required testing, and are now able to get the additional pay. So technically, if you look at the books, that would be 2 positions that were not filled. But in reality, we still have 11 people in that department as we have for the last 3 prior years. So just want to make sure you understand it's not that we cut, we still have the same amount of people there. So when it comes to water conservation technicians, again, we've been running 2. That's been pretty consistent. We don't see that changing. Parks, again, 7. Exact same spots. No one's changed or moved up. But that's been 7. I do know there's some discussion about one of them wanting to retire, so we need to consider that. Going forward in these 6 years, these discussions continue to happen. Now, when it comes to actually facilities, there's custodians or facility maintenance, repairs or senior maintenance technicians, as you can see. Some of these senior positions we just can't get. But we do have now 2 facility maintenance workers, 1 and 2, which is entry level, because we weren't able to get these senior facility maintenance workers filled, or they retired or they left. So we're bringing in entry level. So we're still at 9, which is the level of work that we have. They're just not able to perform it. So again, that's why you still see 9. That's how the numbers play out. So now we'll go to recreation 53. So here you can see 3, event 4, pretty consistent, right? That's all right. This is our economic development. It's in move. So you'll see that's been off somewhere else. No government, and then our elected. So one thing that's changed is the city treasurer went to an elected position. So that number has changed only because it's now an elected position. Okay, but other than that, all of these numbers are exactly the same. And then the same with the account. I'm going to see that later on in the budget. I'll go over that in a minute. So let's go on 66, which is our human resources department. They have increased because they moved payroll. The payroll was originally in a different department. So these 2 have actually gone somewhere else. So just to make sure you know that that's why that zeros here. It's not that no one was getting paid the last 2 years. It was just under a different department. And you'll see that over here in finance. So they were in finance and accounting, and now we've moved into human resources. I think that's a better fit for what they do to make sure that they're staying within, the required laws. Now, our city clerk, she's the one that you're seeing at the meetings, and the deputy city clerk. So they're both at the meetings, council meetings, also they're doing public information requests and other stuff related to the council and city manager and treasurer and freedom of information. So again, there's 2 positions there. I don't see that changing unless somehow we grow relatively quickly. Then at that time we have that discussion, but I don't see that happening for several years. Okay, so moving on to building. So this is our building from a technician. Like currently she's just taking in the applications. A lot of that stuff is being done here, and then it moves forward to the county. So not all of that is handled in-house. Some of that is being done externally as well. So I just want to highlight now going into finance, which is 53. You'll see, well, right, like I mentioned before, it will actually switch departments. So they went to HR. So that's now a 0 from finance. And you can see the numbers changed too, because that number changed. And then the city treasurer went from appointed to elected. So the responsibilities also changed. So I just want to make sure you understand that's why there's a change in 3. We just moved to other parts of the budget. And then planning. Planning has the secretary, the community director, the senior director, and then our economic development and redevelopment manager. So that came again out of that other area and is now all in 75. So that one actually moved from somewhere else, which is why it looks like there's an increase of 1. You see that with 0. And now we have 1. So the reason why that changed is because of the change in the budget. So our total position technically has increased by 2, and it has not decreased. So although we have frozen some of these positions that we have not filled, so if you see that position, like I mentioned, have not been filled for several years. We kind of go through these, but you see all these numbers are pretty well the same over year after year. Exactly the same. So those are positions you see that haven't been filled. We just don't have the staffing for it. So it's an unfortunate situation. Those are primarily the one positions that were frozen for those ones, and we're trying to make it with the budget and the income that we're expecting. So, anyways, I just want to go over staffing, our series position totals, and how many positions we have. We actually have 182, which is up from 180 last year, 2024, and then actually up from 179 the year before, although that's significantly less in 21-22. So COVID, we're coming back to COVID definitely changed things a bit. So I just want to make sure you understood where the budget was, what it looks like, and what it's in. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you at least a little clarification as to our numbers in our budget, our employee staffing numbers, and each of our